Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together and give a very warm welcome to the miraculous, the outstanding, the courageous, the great, the stupendous, the amazing, the one, the only, Jared the Analyst. Yo, what's up with y'all? What's going on, man? I'm back with another video, and let's get started. So, I actually meant to make this video at the end of last season. However, I really just never got around to it. But regardless, we're here now. And in this video, I wanted to shed some light on not only one of the greatest players of the current generation, but one of the greatest players in NBA history, and Stephen Curry. Curry, for as great as he is also pretty polarizing, as most people I see either sing his praises nonstop, or they think that he's one of the most overrated players in NBA history and someone that ruined the game. But with this past finals performance, and even with the way that he's been playing this season before he got hurt, I think it's safe to say that Steph Curry has solidified his spot as a top 10 player in NBA history. Now, why is that, you may be asking? Well, let's not waste any more time, and here are 4 reasons why I believe that Stephen Curry is a top 10 player of all time. So when it comes to accolades, Steph Curry is one of the most decorated players in NBA history. Curry is an 8-time All-NBA player, a 9-time All-Star, a 2-time MVP, a 4-time NBA champion, has a Conference Finals MVP, and an NBA Finals MVP. To add on to that, he's a member of the 75th anniversary team, a member of the 50-40-90 club, the all-time leader in three-pointers made, the all-time leader in three-pointers made in a single season, the all-time leader in three-pointers made in the playoffs, the all-time leader in three-pointers made in a single playoff run, the all-time leader in free throw percentage, and led the Warriors to the greatest regular season record back in 2016 and the greatest playoff record back in 2017. To then put some more context into those accolades, Curry is the first and only unanimous MVP winner. He has the second highest single-season true shooting percentage of any volume scorer in NBA history. In terms of the most three-pointers made in a single season, Curry has 6 of the top 10 spots. In terms of playoff three-pointers made in a single postseason, Curry has 5 of the top 10 spots, and he has the single highest season offensive box plus minus of all time. Now, of course, all these accomplishments are amazing and outstanding in their own right. However, they are only a fraction of what puts Curry into the top 10 conversation. With pretty much all of the top 10 players, came an impact or an innovation that changed how the game of basketball will be played moving forward. For Shaquille O'Neal, there were literally rules made to prevent him from being even more dominant than he already was. For Magic Johnson, he revolutionized what it meant to be a passer and a playmaker. For LeBron James, he has been a catalyst in the positionless basketball movement and also the player empowerment movement. Michael proved that you could build a successful dynasty around a scoring guard, and he also revolutionized what it meant to have a brand off the court. And for Stephen Curry, he has revolutionized what it meant to be a three-point specialist. Because for the most part, three-point specialists were seen as role players who, although they were key to a championship team, were not seen as anything more than just role players. And even the more prominent three-point shooters of the past either never won a championship like Reggie Miller or didn't win until they took a lesser role on a team like Ray Allen. Then came Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, and they completely destroyed expectations. First expanding and gaining experience under the leadership of Mark Jackson, then fully expanding to a motion offense that prioritized floor spacing, quick passes, and off-ball movement like the San Antonio Spurs. But instead of Tim Duncan being the engine, it was Stephen Curry, whose range and three-point proficiency was so overwhelming that it warranted the entire league to not only expand their offenses, but warranted certain play styles to be virtually useless to run on an NBA level. This, on top of Curry having some of the greatest individual seasons in NBA history, has gotten us to a point in NBA history where, due to the prolific amount of three-pointers being shot, the NBA has seen some of the highest scoring and highest paced eras throughout its history. Players are now expanding their range, feeling more comfortable shooting further and further behind the three-point line, and this all can be attributed to the greatness of Steph and Curry. Once again, when you examine the top 10, you notice that every player in this list were the centerpieces of not just one championship team, but of a dynasty, which in my opinion is a team with a core which has won 3 or more championships within a 5 to 10 year span. Now, of course, there are some exceptions to this rule, such as Tim Duncan, whose first and last championship are 15 years apart, and LeBron James and Hakeem Olajuwon, who unfortunately were never able to win 3 or more championships with a single franchise. However, with everyone else, they were the focal point of these dynasties. From Shaq to Kobe to Magic and Kareem, Bill Russell, Michael, all these players led their teams to an abundance of success within a 5 to 10 year span, and Steph Curry is another example of this. From 2015 to 2022, the Golden State Warriors have made the playoffs 6 times. Of course, missing the playoffs in 2020 and 2021 due to injuries. But outside of those years, in each of the 6 years that I just mentioned, the Warriors have only lost 2 playoff series within that time. And of course, in 2019, the Warriors lost 2 of their 4 best players due to injury. And in 2016, that loss required Steph Curry not being 100% healthy, and LeBron James and Kyrie Irving playing at an all-time high just to beat the Warriors in 7 games. Outside of that, though, when fully healthy, the core of Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry has made the finals 6 out of the last 8 years and won 4 out of the last 8 championships, with Steph Curry being the leader and the catalyst to that success. And to wrap it all up, this past finals to me is what solidifies Steph Curry as a top 10 player of all time. Because even though Klay Thompson was coming back from a 2-year hiatus, and even though Draymond Green was nowhere near where he was offensively in prior seasons, and even though Kevin Durant was no longer on the team, and he was replaced by Andrew Wiggins, who before he joined the Warriors was seen as one of the biggest busts in NBA history, and even though they matched up with the Boston Celtics, who were the second-ranked defense in the NBA, and featured the Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart, and even though the Warriors struggled mightily with shot creation throughout the entire finals, and even though in the finals, Klay Thompson shot 35% from the field, Andrew Wiggins was shooting 29% from 3, and Jordan Poole's production had gone down considerably from the beginning of the playoffs, and even though the Warriors hadn't made the finals in 3 years and hadn't won in 4, the Warriors somehow, someway, still won the 2022 NBA championship. Why is that, you may ask? That would be because of Steph Curry. For the longest time, people have criticized Steph Curry's resume because in 2015, Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving are hurt, which is why people said that they won then. Then in 2016, you blew a 3-1 lead when everyone was healthy, proving that 2015 was indeed a fluke. Then in the next 2 seasons, you won with one of the greatest teams of all time, in which you faced little to no resistance in series that you were more than likely favored to win. Then in 2019, when you now were on the other side of where you were back in 2015, when your 2 best teammates went down with injuries, you lost again, proving that you did indeed need an extreme amount of favor in your advantage in order to win a championship. Then, of course, after Kevin Durant left and Klay was sidelined for the next 2 seasons, we thought it was all over. The days of you running around, shooting threes, and winning championships was now behind us, and we could finally get back to quote-unquote real basketball. Then not to mention that in all of those series, you didn't even win a Finals MVP, proving that you weren't the best player on the team and that all of your championships were not because of your greatness. However, with every single one of the arguments that I just said, they were all shut down in the 2022 NBA Finals. Because in a series where, like I just said, they faced the number 2 defense in the NBA with the Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart, where Curry's help was not providing an overwhelming amount of help offensively, where there was no Kevin Durant to offset Curry when he was having an off night, Curry put the team on his back and led the team to overcoming the Boston Celtics, and in the process, winning the Finals MVP, proving that he didn't need an overwhelming amount of help to win, proving that 2015 was not a fluke, and proving that he did not need Kevin Durant to win and actually beat the same team that swept Kevin Durant in that same playoff run, solidifying his place in NBA history and proving that he indeed, with everything else that I just highlighted, is a top 10 player of all time. So there you have it. 4 reasons as to why Steph Curry is a top 10 player of all time. And I just want to thank you guys for watching. And thank you all for reaching 500 subscribers. I am constantly amazed by how this channel is growing and how well it's doing. And it's motivated me to do my best to continue to get these videos out for you guys. So just again, please be patient with me. I'm trying to do my best, but you guys have inspired me so much. So I just want to thank you all once again for everything that you have done for me. So yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate all the love and the support. And I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.